Hello and welcome to Iron Port. Iron Port is a program that has been designed to bring Ghana's port and maritime industry closer to you closer to the port and maritime industry. It is proudly brought to you by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, the Ghana Revenue Authority, GOIL Company Limited, Serene Insurance, and Ghana Link. Our media partner is the Business and Financial Times. Remember, if you grab the Thursday edition of the BNFT, all that transpires here on Iron Port will be found in that newspaper. Viewers, today we are going to touch on a number of interesting subjects. We begin with a discussion we had with the Vice President in charge of road transport at the Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport, Ghana, that is CILT. We spoke extensively on the road carnage situation in Ghana and how it affects the supply chain. Let us hear what he had to say. The Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport, Ghana, has lamented the level of attention given to the chronic road carnage in the country and called for a concerted approach to eliminate this phenomenon. Speaking on Iron Port, Vice President in charge of road transport at the Ghana branch of CILT, Alhaj Dambasaka, stated that the impact of the never-ending high levels of road accidents go beyond injuries and loss of lives, but also severely affects the cargo supply chain.
It is serious because we lose a lot, and now that we virtually take care of the landlocked countries, Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger. And Niger, they pass through our ports. Let's take it, for instance, a vehicle is going from here to Bobo-Dioulasso through Upper West region. There's a crash between Kumasi and Techiman. The vehicle crosses the road. And with supply chain, time is very of essence. So, and even the cargo could be perishable. So the more they delay, the more the loss to the economy. The fellow at CILT recommended the establishment of a road transport authority to help sanitize the sector, which he described as too open. The driving industry is so fluid. I mean, the transport area, you can just walk in and walk out. And CILT has also recommended that we try and get a road transport authority, just like the civil aviation authority. You can't just even buy your plane and start flying. But in Ghana, anybody, if tomorrow I just buy a truck, just give it to my uncle, he's just driving. While he acknowledged poor roads and poor vehicles as major contributing factors, he maintained that better remuneration and a well-organized shift system for drivers would go a long way to reduce the carnage on roads. What causes the driver fatigue? The driver, maybe he's not well remunerated. He's gone to Kumasi, and he knows that if he's to come back, he'll get more money. And that is some of the things that is the outcome of fatigue. Alhaj Dambasaka also recommended the urgent development of multimodal transport systems like air, rail, and inland water transportation to alleviate the pressure on road transport. For example, if you from Pram Pram to Tema, if there's boats, early morning, they move to Tema. You will see that people in Winneba will just go to by the sea, park their vehicles, join those in Nyanyano, those some of us at Aplako, instead of all of us taking one route. And even our inland waters, from Akosombo to Bipe, we could use it better. The road transport expert also expressed hope that the seeming renaissance in the management of the Ghana Police Service will translate to road traffic enforcement. Alhaj Dambasaka disclosed that the Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport, Ghana, has embarked on continuous professional development programs to equip members with skills that, when implemented, would reduce the road carnage situation in the country.
Congratulations. Engineer AMOAHMAH has been sworn in as the new president of the Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport, Ghana. The ceremony, which was under the theme, The Current Challenges of the Shipping Industry and Its Impact on Ghana, also saw the induction of the 7th Governing Council of the Institute to steer the affairs of the Institute for the next 2 years. The chairman of the Ghana Chamber of Shipping, Beno Wosu-Mensah, enumerated some challenges confronting the shipping industry. He also called on government to put in place a national shipping policy to help tackle some of the challenges in the shipping industry.
Look at the transport cost of imports transiting our ports. Look at the multiplicity of taxes importers have to face in our ports. Look at how today foreign lines dominate in landside activity like shipping agencies and freight forwarding, which must be the preserve for indigenous Ghanaians. All these issues and questions exist because the nation lacks a comprehensive shipping or maritime transport policy to address all these issues.
He also called for collaboration between the CILT Ghana and the Ghana Chamber of Shipping to help provide some solutions to the challenges confronting the shipping industry. The new president of CILT Ghana, Engineer Mark AMOAHMAH, assured to work tirelessly to uplift the institution's progress to a higher pedestal to ensure the advancement of supply chain, logistics and transport in the country and beyond.
We hope to extend the professional boundaries of our influence and traverse uncharted territories, all to ensure the advancement of supply chain, logistics and transport in the country and beyond. I wish to plan to see CILT Ghana achieve its vision and remaining the leading professional body for everyone who works in the supply chain, logistics and transport sectors.
The Director General of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Michael Luguje, who was the keynote speaker, bemoaned the fact that containers have been stuck at the ports and terminals for over 2 years, which has contributed to the high cost of freight rates. He charged stakeholders to play their expected roles to ensure that these containers are cleared and returned to the shipping lines.
So as stakeholders, I want to plead that our various voices will matter. If you're an importer, get all the education you need to ensure you are prepared before your cargo arrives. You can pay the duties and get your cargo to your marketplace or your consumption center and release the container to the shipping line.
Michael Luguje and the CEO of Conship, Mark Donald Vasnani, were later inducted into the fellowship of CILT Ghana.
Away from that, folks, we also had a discussion on the blue economy and the opportunities available for the aspiring youth, especially women. Take a listen. Executive Director of the Gulf of Guinea Maritime Institute, Dr. Alberta Amasego, has underscored the importance of involving the youth, particularly the girl child, in ongoing strategies to create a sustainable blue economy at a national level. Speaking on Iron Port, Dr. Alberta Amasego asserted that not only would a deliberate involvement of youth in plans for Ghana's blue economy create a lasting legacy for the sector, but would also go a long way to help curtail the major unemployment crisis in the country.
I remember as I was in school, I always had this question: what are you going to do when you finish? And the first thing you think about is either go and work at the port, or if you did marine engineering, you probably go to sea.
Yeah.
And then after these two options, what is there for you? And for the females who are a bit conservative about going to sea, then their options remain very limited.
Yeah.
But that should not be the case. And that is my personal mission, to, together with the Gulf of Guinea Maritime Institute, this is our mission, to bring the young people on board.
Lamenting the unemployment situation in the country, she called for support that would encourage the youth to take up opportunities in underexplored areas of the blue economy.
So talking about inland transportation, inland waterway transportation, there are all other areas that sometimes we overlook or we do not even consider as part of our entire maritime estate. These seaweeds, sargassum, that are flooding our coasts every now and then, can we go into research to find out what we can use these these seaweeds that have been tagged as nuisance, what can we use them for? Can we look at using them for fertilizer, for feed, example for feeding pigs for piggery, or even for fish farming? There are endless opportunities. We have shellfish. There are people who are also into shellfish collection. When they collect these shellfishes for their meat, we discard the shells. Is there any way we can look into the use of these shells? Is there an industry for it?
The executive director of the Gulf of Guinea Maritime Institute expressed particular interest to see increased women employment within the maritime industry.
When you look at the participation of women in Ghana's maritime industry, you realize that a chunk of the female participation is contributed from the fishery sector. And most of these females even belong to the informal sector. Hardly will you find women with high education involving in fisheries activities. And this is a sector that actually contributes a lot in terms of social contribution and economic contribution in Ghana. And it will be my dream to see women taking up high managerial positions in fishery sector, in managing the fishery sector. The entire value chain, from capture to marketing to consumption.
She encouraged students in maritime institutions to double the pace at which they take up internship opportunities to acquire practical skills for the industry before leaving school. Likewise, Dr. Amasego also urged companies to collaborate with the Maritime Educational Institute for the provision of industry-relevant skills that will position graduates for success in the industry. Taking her turn on the subject, a student at the Regional Maritime University, Bridget Padiki Sylvester, bemoaned the limited internship opportunities at the disposal of the students in the maritime industry.
Because let's say internship offers, when you get to 200, 300, you have to have an internship, but most companies do not accept us. So it's really difficult for them to know the opportunities out there.
She revealed that many of her colleagues are caught in the job market after school conundrum due to non-exposure.
Lots of them want to open up their businesses, and a lot want to be at the port, because I can say that they don't really know what they really want because they are not really exposed.
Bridget Padiki, who has taken up a volunteering internship with the Gulf of Guinea Maritime Institute, however, this states that the experience has been fruitful, having participated in 2 conferences so far, giving her the opportunity to meet industry professionals. She called for more of such in future for herself and colleagues all over the country to bridge the gap of non-exposure.
I would recommend such an event or conferences to be happening frequently, so that ladies in the industry can know the opportunities or can get to know more opportunities or businesses that are there for them.
The Gulf of Guinea Maritime Institute, previously a community of sub-regional maritime stakeholders on maritime safety and security, is now a research-driven, capacity-building and advocacy group for the blue economy. It was pivotal in the organization of the recently held Blue Career and Business Expo in Accra that linked industry experts and professionals to students in Ghana.
A 2-day conference and exhibition dubbed Blue Career and Business Expo 2021 has been held to connect young people, especially women, to leaders in the maritime industry. Under the theme, Building a Robust Blue Economy, Leaving No One Behind, maritime sector stakeholders were urged to tap into the latest innovations and best practices in ensuring a robust maritime security regime, which is key in achieving the objectives of a sustainable blue economy and overall economic growth. The Canadian ambassador to Ghana, Kati Chaba, said Canada is deeply supportive of women entering careers that are traditionally dominated by men, including defense, science, technology, and engineering. She encouraged organizations to make specific efforts to recruit, train, and promote women who are interested in the maritime sector.
Canada and Ghana are currently engaged in a bilateral partnership to promote women's participation in peace and security through the ELSI Initiative for Women in Peace Operations. Women in the maritime sector, particularly the maritime security sector, are an important part of furthering the women, peace, and security agenda.
Dr. Kofi Mbia, a maritime law consultant who delivered a keynote address, lamented that whereas Africa's 38 coastal states had a total coastline, including islands covering 48,000 kilometers, as well as over 100 port facilities which handled containers and various forms of cargo, the continent held a meager stake in the ocean-based economy. African-owned ships, he noted, accounted for about 1.2% of world shipping and about 0.9% by gross tonnage.
Most African countries suffer from sea blindness and have failed to utilize the oceans for their development. This could be as a result of ignorance of the opportunities within the ocean economy. It could also be because of a lack of capacity and could be due to the absence of a political will.
Dr. Mbia regretted that Africa was the least maritime conscious continent of all the continents in terms of ownership of vessels, volume of seaborne trade, including the value of fish landings per capita.
We as a people must be interested in the over $1.5 trillion ocean economy with the potential of providing over 40 million jobs by 2030 and even further by 2063, as has been pointed out by the AU.
The Special Rapporteur for Piracy and Maritime Security at the African Union, Kathleen Korte Ayensu, said the expectation of the AU was that each member state would take necessary steps to develop a maritime policy in the next 3 years.
Every country should have its own plan, what you plan to do in the maritime sector. For the next 15 years, we need to build up, in my opinion, a minimum of 20 to 30% female capacity all round in the blue economy. So whether it's the Navy, whether it's with fisheries, whether it's with commercial shipping, what have you, we need to aim for 20 to 30% of females.
The commander of the Kofi Annan Peacekeeping Training Center, Major General Francis Ofori, in his remarks, said the maritime sector remained a key contributor to the country's economic growth.
The development of our blue economy implies a paradigm shift. It requires that we change many of the ways we are used to doing things to secure shared prosperity.
The Executive Director of Gulf of Guinea Maritime Institute, Dr. Alberta Sego, highlighted the importance of the conference.
We hope to do more and ensure a thriving blue economy in Ghana and the Gulf of Guinea. And we invite you to be part of us through our membership forum.
The two-day conference was put together by the Gulf of Guinea Maritime Institute, a maritime transport non-for-profit organization in partnership with Women's International Shipping and Trading Association, WISTA. Meanwhile, the plenary session of the Blue Career and Business Expo 2021 created multiple opportunity exchange platforms for young people to interact with maritime industry leaders and contribute to a robust economy in Africa. They were asked to build their capacity in the industry in order to take full advantage of its potential. Gertrude Adra Ohene Esienim from the Institute of Chartered Shipbrokers London urged that more sensitization programs should be held for girls who are interested in the maritime industry.
Sensitization, as Rukia said, is very important to be able to nurture people right from the beginning, like what GoGMI has put together with WISTA Arts we are organizing today, for people to be aware of the opportunities right from when they are growing up, so that people would take it as where they want to work, not fall into it by accident like I did. So it is more about the programs we put in place right from the beginning for these young ones who are coming up to be able to take the opportunities that are available to them.
Esther Jebidonko, the General Manager for Marketing and Corporate Affairs at the Ghana Ports and Harbors Authority, called for early sensitization of younger females from the senior high school levels to generate the needed interest in the maritime industry.
We should start thinking about going to the second cycle institutions to actually expose them to some of these opportunities that we have in the industry. We should be thinking about even embedding it in our school curricula, so that it can give them that interest from day one, and then they get to know the value of the industry.
Sylvia Asana-Owu, the Deputy CEO of Ghana Shippers Authority, called for deliberate policies to compel institutions to increase women participation in the industry.
The policy on gender equality and for women and girls states that as part of the implementation process, every ministry is supposed to have a gender desk so that we can evaluate and monitor the progress of women who are employed or who are getting to the top within the various sectors under the ministry.
At another session, the General Manager Operations at the Ghana Port and Harbors Authority, Gavin Amavi, said Ghana's ports have become more efficient in the sub-region as a result of digitalization.
With paperless, much more efficiency has come in, trying to drive away the issue of human intervention. The human intervention is reduced, such to the much pleasure that corruption in some areas has been reduced by doing away with lots of human intervention.
So folks, those were some interesting recommendations on how we can open up the industry for the up-and-comers. Iron Port returns after this break.
Every now and again, GOIL makes good things happen. This time, GOIL has introduced Super XP Ron 95, a higher grade fuel loaded with additives and yet sold at the same price as normal fuel. GOIL Super XP Ron 95 enhances engine performance like never before. It maintains the engine by keeping it clean from carbon deposits. GOIL Super XP Ron 95 is designed to burn slowly and thus improves fuel economy, making you save money after several kilometers. GOIL Super XP Ron 95 gives you a smooth driving experience, that is, less vibrations. Fill up with GOIL Super XP Ron 95. Now there's no need to pay more for any higher grade fuel. GOIL has that sorted. GOIL, good energy.
Electricity, pay your taxes. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is. You still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Impressive factory. If only I had listened to you, I wouldn't have been in this mess. That devastating fire virtually wiped out the whole factory and my warehouse.
Remember my misfortunes last year? Serene Insurance Asset All Risk Fire policy that I took were there to pay for my damaged stocks in the warehouse, and my machines that were affected by the floods have been replaced. My accident vehicle is back on the road thanks to Serene Insurance motor policy. Currently, my goods are on the high seas, covered with their marine cargo insurance policy. I was just telling Ajima about Serene Insurance. Oh, Ajima, tell him more.
As a road contractor, I make sure I do my contractors all risk insurance for the projects and then workers' compensation for all the workers on site. With Serene Insurance, they will make sure they will cover your unknown tomorrow today.
Serene Insurance, a new face of insurance. Call us now.
Welcome back. Now, a few local port and maritime news next.
The Minister for Transport, Kweku Foresiama,
has revealed that findings of the feasibility studies conducted for the development of the KETA port indicated that the phase 1 of that project would cost around $600 million. The minister disclosed this during a market-sounding event on the KETA port project development in Accra. The event was also used to extensively engage stakeholders on the outcomes of the feasibility studies as well as draw feedback from them. The minister called on the private sector to partner government by bringing in the needed capital, expertise, and efficiencies for the delivery of the project.
The project of this nature are highly capital intensive, and government on its own may not be able to finance it all. The involvement of the private sector is to build the needed capital, expertise, and efficiencies to the delivery of this project. I am informed that some companies have already expressed some interest in participating in the port development. I therefore look forward to the other private sector investors or interest in this project.
Board Chairman of GPHA Isaac Osei emphasized the importance of stakeholder involvement in the planning process of the KETA port project.
Our plan is to ensure that no interested party or stakeholder is left out as we get into the subsequent phases of this project. Hence, our determination to ensure that your inputs are captured and incorporated into what we have.
The Director General of the authority, Michael Logoje, stated that the need for a third commercial port in Ghana has been necessitated by the growing demand for intra-regional trade.
We have seen that it is a port that is feasible, it is viable, and indeed it is attractive. Of course, if we all go back into the history of many ports, starting with our own country, Ghana, we'll notice that none of the ports were built on the basis of immediate first and second year high profitability. It's a very, 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 very progressive journey towards building the port. And the social and economic impact assessment that will be done will answer most of the questions that have been asked here. In fact, the entire community, key stakeholders will be consulted by that consultant that's going to do that job. And all the concerns about the environment, about job creation, about economic and other impacts will be answered, and a report will be produced to guide the process of building KETA port.
During the presentation detailing the findings of the feasibility studies, project engineer at GPHA Komla Ofori indicated that the project was seen as viable for a potential commercial cargo port that can cater for containerized, bulk, and oil and gas, as well as a shipyard facility. He said, following the feasibility studies will be a social and environmental impact assessment early next year. It is after this that the procurement process for investors would begin. Ghana's leading oil marketing company, GOIL, is assiduously working towards achieving zero tolerance for road accidents. GOIL has developed a haulage management plan constituting a number of strategies to reach that goal. One of such strategies recently embarked on by the company is the organization of a comprehensive defensive training program for more than 600 drivers of its bulk road vehicles. The drivers underwent courses in factors and causes of road crashes, vehicular fire protection, stress and fatigue management, vehicle maintenance, and the hazards of driving under the influence of drugs and alcohol. The operations manager of GOIL, Engineer Dennis Amui, indicated that the training is primarily geared towards inculcating a positive driving culture among drivers of GOIL vehicles.
I want this training to be part of them. We want it to be a culture so that anytime you meet a driver driving a BRV branded GOIL, you know that this is an experienced and a professional driver. They will behave professionally as required of them. In fact, safety-wise, security training will all have to come into this.
The distribution manager of GOIL, William Mensah, also explained that upgrading the skills of its drivers is in line with the company's commitment to the environment, health, and occupational safety.
GOIL brand, we stand for safety, we stand for the environment, we stand for everything on regarding health, safety, security, and environment. So we believe that this will end up promoting that.
The beneficiaries of the training exercise expressed their commitment to apply the training in order to avoid accidents.
Exercise here by a boy, papa. Men because company be exercise CBA. So a woman a different anyway. We know him the no
school yeah GOIL. Aronjama a GOIL drivers no. A school a boy ye pa. Ochana me kotana me car mu am ye sure say me driving no difference be dey e be bam me da go asi pa say o ma ya ade bi say ai dey ama drivers.
Now let's take our lenses to the international scene to see a few things that are transpiring in the port and maritime industry around the world. A new partnership of 18 leading companies in shipping and consumer goods is working with the Good Shipping Initiative to substantially reduce emissions from the cargoes they ship. The cargo owners and other partners are undertaking a commitment to promote sustainable marine biofuel in a campaign that will reduce around 4,000 tons of emitted carbon dioxide. The Ship to Zero initiative brings together organizations spanning a range of nations and industries, including food production, consumer goods, chemicals, textiles, machinery, and logistics, and all of which are united in their commitment to making an immediate and tangible climate impact. The campaign intends to show that making real climate action is already possible and to provide an example for policymakers and other companies to follow. As part of its strategy to maximize value from the producing assets, Tullow Oil has exercised its right of preemption related to the sale of Occidental Petroleum's interest in the Jubilee and 10 fields in Ghana to Cosmos Energy. Occidental agreed to sell its interest in the Jubilee and 10 fields for $750 million to Cosmos Energy and Ghana National Petroleum Corporation in mid-October 2021. When it comes to Cosmos' part of the deal, it was supposed to increase Cosmos' interest in Jubilee to 42.1% and in 10 to 28.1%. However, it was subject to a 30-day preemption period. Consolidating its position in the tanker segment, Hafnia, Port of Singapore-based BW Group, announced plans for an acquisition that will make it the largest operator of product and chemical tankers in the world. Under the terms of agreement, they will take control of 32 modern and fuel-efficient IMO2 product or chemical tankers through a share purchase of chemical tankers from investors Oaktree Capital Management. It's time for the schedule of vessels that have berthed within the port, those at anchorage and those expected in the coming weeks, plus the Bank of Ghana exchange rates, which you may need to know to clear your cargo with. Now it's time to listen to a few comments from viewers of our program. This one has a recommendation. He says, another way to help control this driver fatigue is to get the various transport unions to form companies to manage the transport business. Thus, a private individual can only invest by purchasing buses or vehicles and leaving the management of these buses to the said company to be created. After this is done, run an urban transport where drivers will be paid on monthly basis, like what is done in STC, and will only drive for 6 hours with a 3-tier shift system. Dominic from Ningwa says, in my own perspective, I think some of these maritime-based institutions should, as a part of their corporate social responsibility, absorb some percentage of these students. Okay, that brings us to the close of today's edition of Eye on Port. We hope you've been educated. Remember, you can watch all that transpires here on Eye on Port on our YouTube channel, Eye on Port. Remember to subscribe, like, and give us feedback. Thank you for watching.